Hello. Sorry for the cough in your ear. Choked on my coffee. Hello and welcome to another Midnight Technician. Uh, Welcome to the world. Thank you for logging in. I hope you got a full cup of coffee. So, we're going to review what we did, or what was done yesterday. I'm gonna be transparent. I didn't get a lot of work done. I got next to nothing done. I got a little bit of analytic work done. Um, Yesterday was kind of crazy. I had a little bit of a busy day. Um, and then I did some research. I was doing some research on some analytics and how to best set that up from the get-go. Because I figured if we're using Kafka, we might as well use it properly, and have some examples of analytic data that we would need to follow. So, um, what we're doing today is we're going to go over the um, so I've added analytics to an analytic module or service to the project. And the idea here is that we're going to use a star schema. A star schema is a way of organizing data within a database, which is great for analytic data and warehouses because it's fast and simple to query. It's going to be in a Postgres database, and the reason it's called a star is because of the way that it sort of arranges the tables. So there's like a fact table in the center, surrounded by dimensions tables. Um, and it essentially kind of looks like a star. Yeah, totally looks like a star, because that's what a star looks like. All right, so um, the sort of foundation or like bits about it, a fact table is a database table which is strictly events or metrics that you can measure. Facts are sort of a uh, core measurement of events, transactions, and other things that. So, for example, when a user registers, when a service ticket is created, when a service ticket is closed, when an email is sent, these are all um, examples of facts. Each fact is usually includes some sort of a foreign key which relates to a dimensions table, for things such as customers or employees or emails or things of that nature. Metric Usually it has numerics inside of it, such as like time-based metrics, for example, resolution time, latency, things of that nature, as well as it has timestamps in it. Now, dimensions, those describe the who, what, where, when sort of deal. They store metadata that doesn't change very often. In fact, it hardly ever changes. And these here link through a foreign key to your fact table. Um, why we're using a star schema? It's simple for joining dozens of normalized instead of um, joining dozens and dozens of tables. This just allows you to have sort of a central fact table that you can query, and then you can use the relational database after that to tie things together from the foreign key, based on the couple of dimensions that are related to it. So these are usually pretty good for doing reports and dashboards, um, because of the way that you can aggregate queries such as like count, average, sum, group by, yada yada, um, things of that nature. Uh, So that's sort of what we're aiming for and how we're aiming to go um, with the database schema for the service, or for the analytics service. So I didn't do a lot in it so far. I'm still getting the basics kind of set up for it. Um, but we will take a look and see what that holds, what's in it, and yeah, if you don't already, I advise you to fill up on coffee. This is going to be a fun ride. So let's get rid of my fat head and bring up the code, as well as bring up my small head. So up here you can see that I've added an analytics module. I haven't actually committed it yet. Everything is still being slowly added. So the idea of the analytic service is it is yet again going to be, and I have to change that because it's not 5. Customer device was 5. No, customer device was 4. Oh yes, no, that was the 4th, 5th. Okay, so that is right. Yeah, I did do that right. So here we're connecting to our Postgres database analytic table, and basically the same idea as the services module. So over here on the right, you can see that we have a midnight analytic table. Excuse me, table, and inside here, or sorry, database, and then inside here we have tables. We have a dim user. At the moment, that's the only thing that's in there. So this is what a dim user has been modeled out to. So we are just using a straight up regular ID, long as an ID, making it so that it is not nullable and that it is a sequence. And then the rest of the stuff is just simply the user ID, which ties to the actual user in the user database. We want to know their email, their IP address, and when they were registered. This just lets us keep track of metrics such as region-based, so we know who is, where more of our traffic is coming from than others. Again, this is all based on just analytics that we're looking for. Also, again, I've only set up that and the Kafka configs so that we can listen. So inside of here, device registration, nope, that's supposed to be user registration. So it's listening to the right topic. Inside of here, cool. So I got something. One of my dependencies are wrong in here. Not too sure which one, but this is apparently deprecated. Which makes me wonder, because I pulled this. Wait, which is that coming from? Why is this being pulled from Spring M5 when we're using M3? Really? Okay. Get on the right version for this, maybe. Although, is that the same Kafka that I'm pulling in? Sorry guys, may have goofed this. Okay, yeah, I was specifying the version here. Sorry, that's what I did wrong. And I wasn't specifying the version in here. There we go. Now things are happy. There we go. Good to know that that's going to be deprecated going forward, though. All right, so in here we have the same Kafka setup as our previous modules. Now we're listening to we're creating a group for the analytics service. So if we run this, you'll see a new group get added in here, as well as we've got some other metrics in here, or some other topics in here that we're going to be listening to provide some analytics to as well, like the tickets, for example. Now, in our, where did I, consumer, there it is. So in here, we are listening to the user registered. This one here is so that we can listen to this, pull in the user DTO that comes from the event that is sent, so that we can then build up some user analytics here for the entity that we're caching. This is our dim user. So here we're storing the user ID so that we can connect it with the user we created. Email so that we are also, I don't know if I necessarily need that, to be honest. Put a pin in that, I might remove the email. IP address so that we can keep track of, that way we can keep track of regional based or geometric based analytics, such as like where more people are registering than others. Excuse me, choking on air again. And then, of course, the date for when they registered. And then we're saving that to our database. And for all good purpose, we're logging that to the console and just logging it in general. So yeah, that's just our basic setup here. I got a SQL schema set up in here so that we can populate the database. I do have to build out a few more things in here, and I got to build out a few more things throughout. But this is where this is what I did yesterday, and where we left off yesterday was adding the the customer device, Kafka consumers, so that we could register and create new devices. So we are eventually going to keep track of some analytics for this as well, so that way we can keep track of data like the average person has X amount of devices, yada yada yada, and other things like that. It'll help us ultimately when we make the admin dashboard, so that the owner of the stores, so to speak, can have some metrics and insight about what's going on. Sorry about that. I got a text and I'm expecting bad news, so I just had to check that. Total side note, my grandmother-in-law is not doing so hot, so I'm also kind of stressing in the back end about that. But that is nothing that you guys need to worry nor care about. So back into here, so in case you missed how everything is set up, guys, you can watch I do have some recap videos that just highlight the sort of technical bits of the live streams that I do every day, just so that you don't have to sit here and watch the full hour and a half to 2 hour live stream unless you really, really want to. And in which case, if you do, hit that sub button, get notified when I go live, and you can check them out as they go every day. at least every day that I can. I do try to do it every morning, at least for an hour and a half to 2 hours while I do my morning work. It is a little harder for me to just spontaneously pop on and live stream on YouTube throughout the day. However, I do live stream in our Discord community. So if you do want to watch me build on this project and be a part of it, you can also join our Discord community where I am somewhat heavily involved in there as well. I say somewhat, but I'm the fucking owner. I'm there all the time. What am I talking about? Even when I'm not here, I'm there. Okay, so website, when users register, where are we at? Auth controller. Nope, it's the auth service I'm looking for. So when a user registers, we create their profile, and then from there we oh yes, I added up here where we're taking in their IP address. So this is how I was able to get it on that other end. So now when users register and we come through the yes, that would work. Okay, I had to rethink that, and yeah, no. So when the user registers, we get we were now taking in the HTTP servlet request or servlet request, so that we can also pass in the remote address. So the whoever's logged in, it's going to grab their IP address and pluck that in there as well to the registered user, so that we can keep track of where people are registering from when they register on the website. This again is intentional for the metrics. So we'll come down here, we'll verify that things are good. We'll create the user here and save them. Once we've saved them, we're going to take that new cached user, verify that it's not null, even though it is null safe. I don't know, I'm old school, even though this whole thing is marked as null marked. Personally, I don't know, personal preference. I check to see if it's null. If it is, I return a failure. Otherwise, I create a new customer, which simply comes down here, maps out a user DTO or user profile DTO, which, do I not have a converter to do that? Sorry, I'm just kind of rethinking things as I'm going now. But I thought I had something to just map these, but apparently not. I thought I built a converter tool thing or an interface. Yeah, the DTO converter. I did do a converter, but it's never not. Oh, it's only used in the back end. Okay, whatever. So this just simply maps the user profile to the DTO, which I don't even see the purpose of anymore now that I think about it. Anyway, we're mapping it here so that we can then stick this DTO inside of our registered event. So nothing has changed there, but we're sticking the IP address on as well, so that once we fire this message off through the Kafka template to the registered users, both of our backend services are going to be listening to the same topic so that they can pluck it out and do some things asynchronously. But the whole point about this is loose coupling. The front end doesn't have to know anything about the back end to do any of this anymore. It doesn't have to know about any of the back end services. It just simply has to know about Kafka so they can throw something into the queue. That's kind of the whole purpose of it, of of Kafka is the loose coupling to decouple the front end from the back end and the microservices and from each other and all whatnot. So, and also if you're wondering when to use um, HTTP requests to talk between your microservices and when you should just throw topics into a Kafka queue and just call it a day, there is a difference. It does matter. Um, am I doing it the best in this situation right now? Probably not. But I'm going to clean it up and get it that way. That's kind of why I'm doing the metrics now. Um, so the idea here is that if you need something immediate and right away as a response, do the HTTP request to the actual service or use gRPC or grtrc or sockets, however you want to do it, but make the communication directly. In our case, it would be an HTTP request to the specific service and port. If we wanted a direct and immediate response, um, otherwise, if we just need to send off a notification that something happened, then we just want to spit that into a queue and forget about it. So that's sort of the difference of when you would use either or. So in our case, if we need to get some information from the user or for the dashboards, we're going to be using service requests or HTTP requests to the services and asking for it. If we're saying that a new user has registered, we're just going to pop that into a queue because we know that we registered it. It's in the websites. The website has technically the service for that database, so we know the user was done and saved. So we just want to pop that into a queue so that something else the back-end services can handle it. Now, that's going to go for the same for all of our analytics that we happen. So like whenever we open over a service ticket gets created, we're going to fire off a message queue that for an analytics service for an analytics service ticket, I guess. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call it yet. But basically we're going to fire off a message that, a ticket was created, ticket was closed. We're going to send off things like, an email notification was sent, a welcome email, or this email. Because we want to be able to, when a user registers in our system, we want to send them after they've been created, send them a welcome email, saying, hey, hello, welcome, hello world, welcome to the technician. We'll figure that out later. And then like if they open up a service ticket, we want to more or less validate that it's been successfully done. So we'll shoot them an email that the ticket has been opened and assure them that it will be responded to, whatever. And then so then that's where we'll send them a service ticket email and or like a service ticket creation or something email. We'll make templates for all that, and then we're gonna have to also when somebody claims ownership of the ticket, we're gonna send a notification. So these are the sort of deals that we're just going to be throwing into Kafka topics so that our backend services can handle um, all of the chit chat, the noise, and our front end doesn't have to care about what service is what in the back end. It's not making HTTP request. It's just this happened, done. This happened, done. This happened, done. It's kind of mindless, and it's great because then our backend microservice can be like, ooh, this ticket, ooh, this ticket, and just sort of go and flow. So yeah, there's a few different things that I need to build up with this as well. Sorry for the chit chat. I'm just sorry for the spiel. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here about what needs to be done. Yeah, so I don't have any kind of an email system set up at the moment, so that's going to come. we do have our customer creation, so that's been done. Device creation, that's been done. So now it's a little bit more about the back end. And we're going to be, I have this set up, so this will store some data about users when they get registered. Um, I don't have any fact tables yet because we're going to have to build those. We're going to be, I guess we'll work on the service ticket next. So we're going to have to spin up a service ticket or create a service ticket topic so that we can have, or service ticket creation topic so that we can handle that analytics. Then we'll create some kind of an analytic entity for it for when tickets were created, when tickets were closed, and we'll also create a another variable in there that duration or something so that we can also keep track of just a straight fact of this is how long it took for the service ticket to be closed. This is how long it took it to get from open to handled, so we can see, okay, it on average when a customer creates a ticket, it takes 20 minutes to an hour for a technician to claim it, and then it takes yada yada. And we can also provide some analytics more about averaging things, like depending on the specific service, maybe. I don't know. We'll build on this. We'll build on this and see where it goes and see what. So, um, and yes, I'm getting a whole bunch of yellow on here. This is because I no longer fucking like using the getters. This is complaining about using Lombok getter setter for everything versus doing this. And it seems like as of late, I don't know why, my IDE's annotation processor is just sort of crap the bed. It works here until it goes to compile it, and even though it's set up, it doesn't. It throws a fit saying that, hey, I can't find get user. Yeah. So yeah. So that's why there's yellow squiggles. I could probably just avoid that by taking Lombok out of here altogether, but I'm pretty sure it's in the IDE. But whatever. Just get rid of Lombok and call it a day for this module. Okay, so ticketing. Okay, so ticketing. What do I need for you? So when a ticket is created, when you're created and does this, so service ticket creation. Okay, so I do have a service ticket creation one. So I am going to be listening to that, and I am just pulling in the service request. Okay, and this keeps track of the service, the device. Okay, cool. Okay, so forgot that I used the required args. Cool. So let's build this project, because what else did I guess the project's not that big. Cool. All right, so I want, what am I looking for? All right, I need to make a new service ticket listener or consumer. So just for now, just copy and paste this. Just copying this so that I don't misspell something. All right. Request is the request. This is the service ticket. Get rid of that, do that. Take the request, and then I gotta build the analytic, and yada yada yada. Yeah, I don't have the analytic yet. Okay, so now I need to build the entity. Da, 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 da. This one here, we're just looking to build. Yeah, probably shouldn't have just copy paste that, but whatever. All right, so in here, this one's going to be a dim ticket. I'm gonna keep an ID of it. This one here is going to be the ticket ID. What else do I need to keep track of in here? Yeah, I'll keep track of the email because it's there. Service ID. Device ID. I don't care about the device name. I don't care about the device description. Cool. And we'll stick that into the fact and then create it as. Cool. All right, so that should be that. And now I'm going to generate getters and setters. Do it all. Cool. Dim ticket. So now there we go. So now I'm going to use IntelliJ, or I'm not sure if it's IntelliJ or JPA, but I'm going to use this to generate me some, generate me a DLL. Honestly, just, yeah, no, whatever. File, I guess. I don't, save it as a scratch file. That's all I want. Yep, so I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go back into our little DLL here, or SQL file, and I'm going to stick this in here. I'm doing this so that I can just come up here, run this. Now I've got a dim ticket stuck in the database. Cool. So out of there, got this. This should be somewhat happy. Go to the service for task, go to that. So now I can, now I'm looking to build the service ticket analytic here. Da-da-da-da-da. Look at that. I love when autocomplete works. All right, now is that in fact everything that I want to store? So there's the email, the ID gets generated. I got the email. Da-da-da-da. No, I need the ticket. I don't have the ticket ID. Okay, so I don't have the ticket ID, so now I need to go get the ticket ID. So, consumer. Where the hell am I creating this? I am creating that on the front end. So into the front end, I gotta go into here, Java, Kafka, service ticket creation event. I'm not using it. Ooh, okay. I thought I was. Yeah, cool. So into our website side, into our controllers, and I want to say this is our ticket controller. Yeah, I am using it. What are you talking about? Why can't you find it? Oh, because I moved it. Okay. There we go. Now it's happy. Oh, shoot. That's not even what I want. Okay, so in here. Um, shit. Okay, so okay, so the analytics gonna have to come from. Okay. So I need to go into the ticketing service and into here, into the creating. And now that I've created the ticket, out of there. All right. So now that I've created the ticket here, now I need to send the analytic topic. All right. So, how did I send that before? Do you have all the config? Consumer. I don't have a. I got to make a producer config in here. So, which one has a producer config? These all have consumers, don't they? Consumer, customer, that's a consumer, employee, services. Do I have a shared producer in here? No. Okay. All right, so I need to make a Kafka producer. So I'm gonna jump back to my front end. And I'm gonna have to get that Kafka template as well, I think. unless I've already got one. But I'm going to copy this Kafka producer, jump into here, into my ticketing, and I'm going to paste the Kafka producer. All right, and I need to add that to the build as well. Okay. And producer is going to here, the Kafka host. Yeah, okay. So this could really be in the shared module, I feel. But no, because then I need to pass that in every time. Okay, yeah, no. Consumer, you don't have an object mapper. No, okay, no, good. Just want to make sure that's not going to overlap with anything. All right, what else do we need? So close this, which means I'm going to have to consume customer service create service ticket analytic. Created. I'm going to rename that created so that I have a second one so that this is now listening specifically to created events. Still going to take in a service ticket creation. No, it's not. No, this needs to be different. I'm going to copy and paste this because this one just needs to be a created event. And this needs to take in a service ticket. Or service ticket DTO. Does the DTO even have the... Yes, it does have ticket ID. Okay. Okay, perfect. So... All right, so next I need to go back into into here. We're now taking, this is now taking in this. So this is now taking in a created event. Import class, do this, request dot. There we go. And this is the request dot service ticket. Oh, just get ticket ID. Oh, shoot, no, because the ticket ID is a string. Okay. So this ticket ID is a string, which is going to alter this, because this is now a varchar. So now ticket delete, yes. rerun that. There we go. So now that's fixed. Okay, so da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so this to that to this to that is good to there. That's the wrong repository. I need to create the repo. Okay, so all right, down here, producer. Now I need to go and produce that the ticket was made, which is inside of the ticketing service. So up here, I need a Kafka template. Okay, and I do have the bean. So now we can come down here and how do I create that again right quick? Uh, oh god, because I don't want to sit here and just, okay, so event is this and then cool. Uh, service ticket. Okay, so now we're creating the created event, and then we're going to stick it into the created topic here, and that's it. I'm going to fire that off to our analytics, back to our analytics listener, which is listening to that topic, and then it's going to pull in that request, that service created request, and it's going to create us a dim entity that we can then store into a database. So now I need to come up here and go back into my service ticket entity because I need to make a repository for this. I'm going to use IntelliJ's JPA plugin to create me a repository and then to stick it into the repos here. And it's just that dead simple. I love IntelliJ. I love their plugins. All right, so that gives me the repository. So now I can go into the, go to that, go to that. So now I can come in here to have a private final, what did I call that? Service ticket entity and then we're going to add that into here so that we can come down here and our cached record, save the record, and then we're going to log the record. So now we are going to be making some analytics based on when the ticket was created. Um, Now I'm going to be doing the same thing for when it was updated and when it was closed. So that's going to be the next thing we do. So now we're going to be um, going back into our Kafka topics. Now that we have one for creation. So that's this creation is again for the ticket service. This one is for analytics, which I think I might just wind up dropping down here, putting a comma here, doing this. This one down below here is just going to be for analytic data. Just to try to help sort this out. So now we're going to duplicate this and we're going to do updated. And we're going to do another one for closed. And then rename these respectively. There we go. So now we can jump back into our ticketing service. And much like we have this, when we update our ticket, we can now do the same thing. Switch this to ticket updated. And boom, we're done. This needs to get changed. And what do you mean by which concept, dude? Welcome to the world, but what do you mean by what concept is this? Well, I guess I can just give you kind of a rundown. So the idea behind the Midnight Technician is it is software for a fictitious company. The company is a company that provides tech work to clients such as major companies doing things like maintaining servers and providing other sort of tech work in-house. It also has a storefront which can provide customers to drop off and provide to get some work done. It also has a website in it so that people can go to their website, log in, and view the different service ticket requests they have, create service requests. They can link their devices or register a device in there so they can have better view of what devices they have, what is listed, what is healthy, what's in repair, this, that, and the other, what's due for annual, this, that, and the other. The um, the tech stack that we have, we're running pretty much purely on Java, or it is purely on Java. We're using Spring Boot for Java 25, and we're taking advantage of Kafka for our messaging queue. For right now, we're working on analytics. So when tickets are created, when users are registered, when tickets are closed, when they're updated, things of that nature, so that we can build um, like a dashboard for the owner where they can see some quick analytics, such as where you're getting more. This is your customers, say widget. You have X amount of customers registered. There are more registered. Most people are registering from this area of the world or the town or the city or whatever. Um, the idea is just to the idea of this whole project is to be open sourced and help young developers learn what industry companies use on a day-to-day basis as far as tech stack goes. So the idea is to bring a open source project to the Java development community that they can physically touch, play with, explore, navigate through. Like you can fork it into your own local copy. You can spin this up and see how everything works and explore around and kind of get the nitty gritty. Um, the idea here is just knowledge. To share some experiences, share some knowledge, make some open source full stack project that people can physically learn from. But because myself, I'm a very hands-on learner. I like to learn by well, I do like to learn by lectures and sitting through like sitting down through lecture doing like lecture videos or going in person to lectures. I like lectures. I'm weird, but I also like to learn hands-on. I like to get my hands dirty and like explore through code, make edits, test things, see what happens, what crashes, why, dig in. Like I like to get dirty when I like to learn. So the idea here is for other like-minded developers that want to learn, that would like to take some full stack project and explore through it and see how it works. Um, and where there is things like Spring Boot Clinic, there's other like the Pet Clinic, and there's other things such as the Landon Hotel, and there's other sort of projects here and there that give you example of CRUD operations in a database and how to present things in a web app manner. But there's not, or at least I haven't found a project that is technically full stack, full scale, production ready, so to speak, where I could just get my hands dirty, spin up some local copy, and learn. So I am hoping to encourage other developers to help me bring that to the development scene and help other junior developers um, explore by physically exploring. Um, so if that didn't answer your question, I'm sorry, but I hope that answered your question. I'm also going to butcher your name, but I'm just going to call you Fax. That's the only. I'm sorry, I'm horrible with names. I am absolutely horrible with names. But I hope that answers your question, Fact. Mm. That being said, my coffee's getting a little cold and a little bit empty. Somebody keeps drinking it. I will be back in a moment. I'm just going to go and top up the old coffee cup. If you haven't done so yourself, or if you're getting a little low, I advise you to top up as well. And I will be back in about 45 seconds. Alrighty, I am back and I've got a full cup of coffee. I hope you guys are back with a full cup yourself. Also, just to touch and kind of add to what I had just said about the idea of this project, um, the idea of me live streaming this um, is so that I can kind of blog it every day, give a little intro in the morning about what was done and kind of blog a little bit about the project. But then the idea is so that other developers can sort of learn from me in a way, I guess. The idea is to stream my thoughts and my problems as I encounter them, so that you guys can also, if you care, watch me debug through the issues and kind of get an idea of how someone would work their way through the problems. Now, that being said, I do have kind of a limited time in the morning that I do this, um, which is also why I preach um, that I do this in my Discord as well. Uh, Even if you guys want to just jump into Discord with me and just even mute yourself up, um, that's cool. Just sit there and lurk in the voice chat with me. I mean, cool. I have music going all day when I'm doing this. So if you just want to sit in the chat with me, listen to music with me, and just watch me code, um, I pretty much do this all day, and I'll usually blog and like talk about what I'm doing, and again, problem solving. You can watch me flop like a fish and struggle to figure out why this doesn't work, why this does work, and why things connect and other things don't connect. That being said, I also like to learn. So if you notice that I'm doing something wrong, or that I'm doing something that could be done better, please let me know. Send me a DM. Make a comment. Send me a DM. Like, throw a fucking penguin at me. Let me know. Just tell me that I'm doing something wrong. It could be done better. We'll do it. If you want to remain anonymous and do it, or I guess you can't really remain anonymous and do it. Um, if you just want to fork the project or clone the project and fix it yourself, by all means, contribute. I do encourage other people to contribute, just to get familiar with GitHub, and how things generally work as a whole. Um, that little rant and spiel said, let's take a sip of coffee and dive back on into the analytic bit. Right. So service. Okay. So topics. Those are created. Here is listening to the created. I'm going to do another one, listening to updated and closed. So now we're coming into the service, and yes, so we have service ticket created. Now, I have to say, I wish this was more like Kotlin, where I could just make a class and I could have just called it service ticket events, and I could have just made a whole bunch of records inside of that one file. That would have been a lot cleaner. Um, I mean, I suppose I could have made like inner records within here, but that would just be make lead to, like, yeah, no. Um, hmm. You know what? Maybe I will. Fuck it. We'll do it Java style. We'll do this Java style. There. All right. So what I just did there was kind of I suppose it's a cheap hack. Um, so I just created one class, and I'm storing records inside of that class. It's sort of the equivalent to Kotlin's object class, I think. I don't know, but this is probably a cleaner-ish way of doing this because then I can just add new records in here. But now the idea is that I can just gonna I'm just gonna slide this way down here so that I can keep that view. All right. Um, so now the idea is that when a service ticket is created, we're going to pass in the created one. When a service ticket is updated, we're going to pass in the updated event. And I haven't actually written the process for closing the ticket yet. I have to do that on the front end, and I have to also do the claimed aspect. So for now, we just simply have the ticket created, ticket updated, and those are going to produce the applicable service, or sorry, the applicable topics. And then we go into our service ticket consumer that we're writing, and we have this one for created. Um, we're going to be making another one for updated and another one for closed, so that we can um, go through and we're going to make other um, entities here. Yes, we're going to have a service ticket updated entity and a service ticket closed entity. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna jump back up here, and I've got where I've got this service ticket entity. Um, this one's gonna be renamed to created. Yeah. Okay, so we cleaned up that. Um, except for this import. There we go. So now I got that cleaned up. So this is going to handle the created event. Now I'm going to make another one for updated and another one. I don't even know if I need one for updated. And what am I trying to keep track of? Oh my God. What do I need to keep track of for updated? Hmm. Um, maybe I'm just looking to update the service ticket itself, and I'll just edit some data in it. If I added closed, that'll keep track of when it gets closed. Um, Okay, so that'll keep track of when a ticket gets closed. But now, um, make another one for claimed. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, maybe I don't care about updated. Maybe I only care about um, when it was claimed, when it was updated, or when it was. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna change this up so that it is. We're keeping track of who is which employee is keeping track of it. And we're going to keep track of when it was created, when it was claimed, and when it was closed. 'Cause that's realistically all I think that we really care about. Is the ticket that we can tie it to. Again, I don't know if I actually need the email. The service ID that's being done, the device ID. Maybe I don't care about the email. I'm going to regenerate all these fuckers in a minute. Regenerate them in a minute. So yeah, maybe this is the only thing I care about. Yeah, and we'll, I'm gonna go back to. I go back and forth on this. I'm gonna go back to naming this just service ticket entity. This is all that we're gonna keep track of. So now I'm going to generate the getters and setters. And I'm just gonna get the hell out of there. Okay, so created, we're going to generate the new. This is generating the service entity, so I'm going to plop that over here for a minute. So then this is creating it, and we're pulling in the request service ticket DTO, apparently. Okay, so we've got the ticket ID, email, which you know what? I'm just going to get rid of the email. I don't care about keeping track of their email address. There's a regenerate the DLL for this, but whatever. I don't care about the email. It can be found on the ticket. Okay, so I got the ticket ID, the service, the device. So now I'm looking to set the employee by getting the employee ID created and claimed and closed are going to be null. Okay, so if if this is blank or it's not assigned, then ticket dim set claimed at is going to be null. No, hold on. If it's not blank, oh, shit. So if it's not blank and it's not this, then we're going to set this to now. Okay, so yeah, so when we create the ticket, if by chance, so if, for example, if the employee creates the ticket from the employee dashboard, then it's going to be assigned. There's the chance that it's going to be assigned to an employee. So so if by chance it gets assigned by default out the gate, then we're going to set the claimed at time being to right then and there. Otherwise, we're not going to set it to anything. We're just going to leave it at null. And closed, we're also just going to leave it at null for now. So I don't know if I actually need to do this, but geez, ticket dim dot set. I'm going to set the closed at to null because it's technically not being closed or never being closed. Okay, and then I'm going to cache that record into the database. So now, do a similar thing, except this one is now going to be listening to service ticket update. And this is going to be handle interesting. Great naming. Okay. All right, so now we're taking in an updated event, listening to the update topic, and we're gonna now go through and we're gonna assign this based off the original. So request dot get created at get closed at what? What? I don't have a closed? What? Yeah, but that should be coming from the what is the request? Service ticket DTO. Ah, shoot. This doesn't actually have a closed. Well, either way, it doesn't matter because closed at is technically still null. So I'm listening to a closed queue later for that. However, this needs to be. This is taking in this. Okay. So this is now where I got to come into service ticket and I need to make a way to get a ticket based off of the ticket ID that I want to wrap in an optional here. so now we're gonna come in here. Ticket dim is going to be equal to service ticket repository find by ticket ID. Okay, so if it's empty, I'm going to want to log an error and kind of return. Otherwise, I'm going to make a var ticket dim, which is going to be getting the actual dim. So now into here, this is an actual dim. Okay, so next I want to update the information that's in said ticket dim. Now, the only thing that we're technically caring about here is setting the updated at, and technically the claimed if it's not claimed. So I'm going to copy this again and I'm going to paste it down here because that's also going to be taking care of checking to see if the request, the initial request, if the employee ID is blank or this, because the request is the one that we're looking to update. So because we're not changing the ticket ID, we're not changing, well, I guess there could be a, there could be a point where we're changing that or this or the employee. Okay, in case anything gets wrong, we're going to change these to update it properly. Ticket ID itself is never going to change. Is never going to change. Created at is also not going to technically change, but we'll stick it down there anyway. Closed, it's technically not closed in here. So we'll leave that as is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of, okay, cool. We'll duplicate this down here. Pop into the topic. We'll do this one for closed and at this point, we're going to make sure that we can't close the ticket without being assigned anyway. So we're not going to be worrying about this. Technically, this is all just about closing the ticket. So all we really care about is setting the closed at. Yeah, okay. So this will take care of closing the ticket, like logging the closing aspect, logging the updated, and logging the or listening to the topics of created, closed, and updated so that they can be handled. And there we go. Repository. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay. And that'll be fine. Okay. So yeah, this is now set up to listen to the different types of requests. And we just need to build the other requests on the producer side, on the website side. But now our consumers are listening to the service ticket created, claimed, and or created, updated, and closed. All right. And this ticket listener is another different type of ticket listener that's listening and this is creating the ticket itself. This service one is creating the analytics, so it's keeping track of when we created a ticket, when we've updated it, and when we've closed it. And by updating it, that's basically like when somebody claims it. Um, we're then keeping track of it. Now, that said, I need to go into here and I need to generate a DLL that I can see in a Scratch file. Need to copy this, get out of here, go into my data file, and the dim ticket that we had is now getting replaced with this. So my dim ticket is going to get deleted and repopulate that. There we go. So now our database is set up so that it has the applicable tables and inside of it, sorry, the applicable columns um, that we need. So next, next we need to start producing. We need to start producing these events now that we're listening to some. Um, okay, so shared. All right, so ticketing. So this one needs to be. Right, so this ticketing service needs to, when they create a ticket, it is producing a Kafka ticket for produce. When we update a service ticket, um, we're now producing a Kafka ticket created, or sorry, ticket updated. And the next thing we have to do is make another method for closing said tickets so that we can make endpoints to close the ticket, sorry. So we'll make another put record, and we'll just make this put, and it'll just append close to it. So this way we just go to API v1 tickets / close, and we'll make a way to close the service ticket. And yep. Hello, welcome to the chat. All right, so now that's going to change the status to closed. This one is going to then fire off to the closed topic and take care of that. So now we will copy this, jump back to ticket controller, and then rather than update, we'll close it. This will go in, close it, respond with the ticket that was closed to the mapper, not to the mapper, to the um, ticketing controller. So this is where, honestly, we could probably get this changed up to be more, I don't know. Anyway, well, we'll worry about that later. So if we pop back over, do we need to go to the front end yet? No. Front end, API requests. Okay. Values employees. So yes, this here handles the service ticket for the creating the service ticket. This handles for adding notes and our other. Anyway, our ticketing controller. Again, I don't know why I did this. You all can roast me on that later. So API tickets creates a ticket. Service ticket notes goes through and updates the. Or sorry, this one here adds notes. This one here updates the service ticket note. Why do I have it? It's adding notes on there. This one here updates the service ticket itself. So this is what makes a put request to tickets. So we're basically we are going to duplicate this and just do service ticket / close. We're going to rename this one to just close service ticket, and we'll post this to close. And now it's going to the same thing. It's just going to simply close the service ticket, and it's going to reply back with to the dashboard with the ticket, so that it can update it essentially, and you'll note it, and it will then say closed in the status. Now, where does this? This is coming from the dashboard. Okay. I still need to make a way so that the employees can claim a ticket when they get it. So let's just out of curiosity, curious to clean this and see if the website will run. Cool. All right, website starts up fine. Let's go to the back end. And I believe everything is okay here. Moment of truth, we're going to find out. All right. So I ran a clean on this just to do it. See what runs and what doesn't. Cool. So employee crapped out. Oh, they're all crapping out. Oh no, this one forgot to add the module to that guy. Oops. Interesting that service. So my analytic one came up fine. And this guy is listening on all the partitions. Customer device started, customer started. I'm interested that that's why. So interesting that ticketing. Oh, ticketing just didn't even run. Okay. So I need to snag that. Where did I get that the first time? This one. So now if I rebuild this, that should be satisfied. So ticketing should run, but doesn't. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I didn't do was add Sentry to the other. That's why everything else worked. All right, so I forgot that I redid this. All right, so all of my environment variables have vanished. I believe they're still in. I believe they're still in my front end. Oh my god. So I'm gonna copy this. Oh, that only has 3 of them. Shit. Okay. So back into here. I need to come back into all of these. Okay. Environment variables, you apply, you environment variables, paste, apply, services, environment variables, paste, apply, employee, option, variable, boom, apply, services, options, environment, paste, apply, test, more options, environment, boom. Redundancy. All right. Okay. So now while I'm thinking of this, because I didn't do it earlier. So customer device, customer, and analytic all need this. These 3 crapped out. Or these 3 crapped out. So customer device. Stick Sentry in there. There we go. Stick Sentry initializer in there. And stick the analytics in there as well. There. Now, come back here. Stop everything. All right, run a clean to clean up the project. And then I'm going to rerun all of the services. So there we go. You can see all of our 6 services are online. So everything looks the same. Come in here, pop into the website, maybe possibly. Look at that. Ticketing view, there's an error. Cool. Let's figure out what's up. Oh, is it still because I didn't make myself an employee? Yeah, it's because I still didn't make myself an employee. There we go. So now that I'm an employee, I can see the ticketing view. I can go into my manager view, and this database right here, this is going to be the admin view where we're going to be seeing all this analytics, and we'll give the owner the heads up of heads up dashboard view of what's going on inside of their company. This will be this is the like manager, so this would be the view that like a store manager um, would have, where they can see a little bit of analytic and a little bit of stuff about what's going on. They can add new employees. Um, Customer, I don't have anything going there yet. Active tickets and resolved, nothing going there yet. Um, Ticketing view. This is the employee. This is where the employees would come to see the open tickets that are going on. Um, and they'll be able to see any a kind of a heads up view of how many open, how many claimed. We'll build this out to be something better. Um, they can view the ticket, come in here and see it. They can add notes to it, um, yada yada. I need to change this into a drop down so that we can say claimed, and then you know when you hit the save ticket and claimed, it's going to assign it to somebody, to whoever clicked it and hit save. Um, or maybe I'll just add a claim button beside here if it's not claimed, and remove the button if it is. Um, but that being said, I am going to wrap this up here for today. Um, yeah. So I'm gonna wrap this up here for the day. If you would like to follow along with me through the day as I pick at this, I will be in my Discord community. Link is in the description. If you enjoyed this video or this live stream and made it this far, by all means, hit that like button and helps me get this out to other developers. And if you're not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get notified of when I go live in the mornings and when I post videos. Also, I try to make the odd post to the community on YouTube as well. So if you're subscribed, you'll get notified when I do anything. That being said, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and your coffee cup full. And I'll see you in the next one.